with Heavy Services. I'm coming live from Hamilton. We are an education and migration services company based out of Hamilton, New Zealand. And we're here. We come live every week. We've got different licensed advisors coming live every week, every day of the week, pretty much every day of the week, to be able to provide guidance to HAV students and prospective students or clients, right? So we are an education migration services company. We work mainly promoting New Zealand as a study destination. We've got New Zealand as the country does have programs available in pretty much every area, and we do provide assistance, and we work with pretty much all the institutions in New Zealand, all the universities except two universities, and we work with all government polytechnics and class 1, basically category 1 private training establishments. Okay, so before we get into the session, I will need to show you my license, because that's a requirement for licensed immigration advisors to provide evidence that they do have a license before providing any kind of immigration advice. So here's my license card, which my license number is 20181050, which you can go up on the Immigration Advisors Authority website. You can see that I have a license valid till December 2020. Each year we will have to renew our license. Yep, and in fact, I had this very interesting conversation with somebody yesterday, and they said, hey, you know what? I tried to apply my application by myself, and then I realized there were 20 different things that I try to understand. I had no clue about it, and that is the reason I've decided to come to you. Then yes, on the outset, applications do look and processes do look very straightforward. They look very simple. However, it is very, very complex. Immigration matters are very complex, so that is the reason we study a program. We study a course in New Zealand, which is called a Graduate Diploma in Immigration Advice. It's a 1-year program, and then we get a license when we do the first 4 papers. And we go through immigration law, we go through all the aspects of different processes, and more importantly, we are taught how to manage risks in this process. Besides that, and also how to effectively manage a client, because we need to ensure that we do have a very good, we provide the best services, and always provide, the right advice, ethically practice. That's what it is. So we do have all these requirements. So it's a pretty tough course. And after doing that is when we get our license. So it goes to only show that we are not somebody sitting on the roadside trying to give you information that we think is right. We do a program. And a lot of people ask, what's the difference between working with a lawyer and working with an immigration advisor? Immigration advisors are basically specialists, and lawyers do study law, but on a broader spectrum. They do a lot of things. They do business law and a couple of other things. There could be 1 or 2 lawyers who are specialized in one particular type of law. So immigration advisors deal only with immigration law. We are not lawyers. Lawyers are also allowed to handle immigration law, and they're exempt from a license. However, they would not have the core knowledge, and they don't go through the same training that we get as immigration advisors. So hence, always make an informed decision. I wouldn't say don't go to a lawyer. However, I can tell you that we are specialized in this area, and we do not work with any other aspects of law. Hence, we're specialists, so to say. Okay, so that is the reason you should take an informed decision of what kind of a person you would like dealing with your application. Okay, sounds good. So while we wait for questions, because that's what happens here, we kind of basically wait for our viewers to come up and ask questions. So this is a forum, this is an opportunity for all our AJV students who are working with us at the moment, to ask your questions. If you're planning to come to New Zealand, then you can, if you're potentially just considering and saying, okay, let's see who these guys are, then also you're welcome. So certain ground rules. First thing is, sorry, first thing is you will need to state if you are an AJV student or not. If you are not, then you will have to and state whether you're AJV student or not, and then give your question. If you're a non-AJV student, then you will have to give me, or a non-AJV client, then you'll have to provide your phone number in order for me to answer your queries. Okay, right. So we shall wait to see if any questions are coming in. I think the internet's a bit slow, and we've been having a few challenges with the internet for the past 2 or 3 days. Okay, right. So there are a few comments coming in. I'm just going to quickly read a few. We've got Dylan Sikdar who says hi. Hi Dylan, how are you? Then my beautiful team is joining in. They're on standby. They're always there to help me and support me, so that's good. Just gonna quickly see what's happening with the questions. Okay. Yeah. So the second question we've got Dr. Sakul Kundra, who says, which visa to apply after getting a teacher job, work visa or residency visa? Dr. Sakul, first of all, you have not given us your details. However, this is a very vague question. I'm just going to answer that for you, even though. Without seeing what your offer letter is, without seeing what your salary is, without seeing whether you meet the salary threshold, I will not be able to answer that for you. I do remember that we did have a couple of interactions in the past, Dr. Sakul. What I would recommend you, I'm sure you have our email address. I'll still confirm that. It's immigrationadvisor@havglobal.com. If you can please send us an email on that. Okay, and also provide us a copy of your offer letter and your CV. I'll be able to then have a look and assess. So I cannot really tell you on this forum because it's a very specific question, more case related. So I would recommend you to please send me an email. I will assess and get back to you on that. Yeah. Thank you very much. Next question. Do we have Sanpreet Kohli says, do you have any office in New Delhi? Interesting. Sanpreet, I would suggest you first give us your contact information, okay? And then I can give you a contact detail, yeah, so that you can call somebody directly in Delhi, okay? Next comment we've got Sunando. Hi Sunando, how are you? Sunando is one of our clients who's recently arrived to New Zealand. So I've got Sunando says, hello Mary, this is Sunando. We are AJV clients. I'm aware of that. Just to say hello, and we have realized how lucky we are to be your clients. Thank you so much. And you've made my day by saying that. Because here in Payal's college, Payal is his wife who's actually come to study. She says, Payal's college, we keep on hearing of students whose partner visas getting rejected because of improper documentation. Thanks again to all of you. Brilliant. I was just telling somebody else also today that we've got an amazing hit rate with partnership visas. We have nearly filed 200 partner visas over the past 2 years, and our success rate is close to 200%. Okay, that's because we have an amazing understanding of what partnership. In fact, it's funny that some of our clients actually ask us. So there is a kind of a letter that you need to write talking about your relationship, and a lot of our clients actually come and ask us, "What do we write about our relationship?" So we actually sit and guide them, saying what kind of information they need to put in their joint letters, personal information about the family. So it's funny, but yeah, we do go to that extent, and we do guide them. We also train them for a possible interview. A lot of them have gotten calls, and we have not lost a single application just based on an interview. Okay, so we've got a very, very high hit rate, and we are very proud of that as a team. It's not just the New Zealand team, but we've got a very strong team of LIAs in India and a strong team who understands partnership. So any of you who are looking at coming with your family, do not take a risk of working with an agency that does not have a licensed immigration advisor. Also find out if the licensed immigration advisor has dealt with partnership applications, especially when there were nearly 3,000 applications that were declined last year. We haven't lost any. any from the Mumbai office specifically who has dealt with all the applications. So you have to understand that is because our applications are clear and well explained, well presented. Most of them come after it's allocated, it's being processed within a span of 1 month. Okay, which is very, very rare, because I know after allocation also there were applications that were sitting with the visa officers for nearly 3 months purely because of improper documentation. We try and bridge that. Yes, there is a lot of waiting already, but however, you should not be waiting and then again it's allocated and again stays with the visa officer for 3 months. It's not worth it. Yeah. So our goal is to ensure that we present an application in such a way that the visa officer is able to take a decision on that as soon as possible, because a visa officer also is always very happy when everything's ticked off. uh, a lot of us might think, hey, you know what, let them ask for information and we'll provide it then. But remember, you are already creating agony for the visa officer by saying, okay, let them figure out if there's something missing. Provide everything and make it simple for the visa officer. When you do that, that's when you will, the chances of your success is higher, and that's what we work on. Okay, so important to work with somebody who understands the requirements of partnerships. So please do talk to us. Yeah, thank you. We do have quite a few questions coming on YouTube. Team, can you please ensure that these YouTube questions are also posted here, because I will have to do back and forth. I will still check, but it'll be better if it's posted here. Okay. Next question. Okay, Sakul Kundra comes back and says, thank you. Sakul, I'll wait for your email. Thank you very much. Next comment is from Joshua DeSales. He says, hi, I'm currently employed in Auckland in a finance company after completing a graduate diploma in marketing, working in marketing department on a 3-year open work visa. Will you be able to help in assisting me at looking at applying for residency? Non-student visa has been referred by a friend who is. Joshua, we'd be more than happy. In fact, if you're working in the marketing department, trust me, you are the... I'm sorry, guys, something troubling me here. Okay, so yeah, more than happy. Joshua, can you please send me your email? Send me an email, and also you can refer to this conversation we've had that I've asked you to send this email. Please send me your job offer letter, your CV, your academic transcripts, okay, and your job description and the contract. Okay, send me this in an email. I will assess and I'll speak to you. I'd like to do a thorough assessment of your profile before I have a chat with you. So I need to have these information. Email it to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. Specify that you are based here in New Zealand, and I will connect with you shortly. Yeah. Thank you very much, Joshua. Okay. Next comment we've got Nirosh. Finally, congratulations, Nirosh, for getting your visa. I know you were on pins and we were also worried. I'm so glad you've got your e-visa. Hope to see you soon here in New Zealand. Yeah, we will be traveling sometime to down south, and we will catch you then. Okay, thank you. And Nirosh also goes ahead and says, appreciate Team AJV. Arun's the first one who I got to know. Then you, he's telling about me. And then Anne, Ruben, Navya, especially my visa officer, Grace. Thanks, and wish you all the success. Thank you very much. Amazing, working with you. I know how much of agony you went through with all the waiting, but I appreciate your patience, and I think that's what it is. We would like to see you guys through, and that's what it's important. So, once you come here, you'll continue to stay in touch with my team here, and you'll be fine. Okay, give me a call as soon as you get to New Zealand. You can also call our toll-free number, which is 0800 696 to just say hello. Yeah. Okay, Nirosh, all the best and have a safe flight. Thank you. Right. Joshua says, thanks. You're welcome, Joshua. I hope to get your details soon. Okay. So let's quickly switch and see there's something that's come on YouTube. Okay. We've got a question from Soju Verghese. Soju has given his contact information. Soju says, hi, I'm looking... Sorry, there's a small little bug disturbing me and distracting me. Hi, I'm looking for a level 7 project management in New Zealand. Is that good to get PR and work after my study? I had 2 years of experience in construction field. Please share your options. So, first of all, there construction management, civil engineers are in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. Yes, hence there are a lot of opportunities, and the program that you're looking at, project management, also has good opportunities. And if you've got experience in project management, then do project management. If you're able to get into construction management, nothing like it, try and get into it. I know for a fact that a lot of students are undecided about whether to do project management or whether to do construction management. Project management is a wider area where you can basically again specialize within civil or construction or whatever, or project management is open for students in any industry, but construction is purely for civil and construction managers. So it's only the type of skills that you want to gain at the end of the day, because if you are a civil engineer, that means you've got civils, the skills, technical skills required to be a construction manager anyways. So if you feel that you need to build more on business skills, then do project management. But if you feel that, no, I need to also understand how it works with construction here within New Zealand, then do construction management. So it's all about your end goal. I know for a fact that there are a lot of people who still want to do project management because they don't want to work in construction but work in other aspects of projects, so even though they're civil engineers. So I'd suggest you to have a look at the papers and decide, but either one of them, they are good. If you're already having experience in construction, that means you're a civil engineer and you're good to find for jobs in construction or civil, even with a project management degree, okay? It's not important that you have to eventually study this or work in the same area where you have studied in New Zealand especially, okay? So don't be, dragged into that direction, because I think a lot of people do a mistake by thinking that's what it is, okay? Thank you very much. And I hope I've answered that question for you. You'll have one of my team members who will connect with you because you've given your phone number. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Nirosh is very, very excited. He's putting in a lot of comments today. So Nirosh says it's a happy day today, though a week late from my course start, but I'm sure you've got extension, so you'll be all right. And he's given me a lot of smileys. That's great. And Nirosh also says you answered my nasty annoying questions. Not really. And he says thanks for that as well. No problem, we're here for that, okay? We do these live sessions not to escape, because I know there was somebody who called and said, oh, you guys skip all the important questions or the difficult questions. Nah, we are here to answer all the tough ones, yeah? Because it should not be the case where our team is because they're not licensed advisors, you will feel, okay, they're dodging a few questions. They have been simply instructed not to provide any information on certain things purely because they're not licensed. They're not supposed to talk to you about residence visas. They're not supposed to talk to you about your eligibility for those visas. They're not supposed to give you any kind of an immigration advice. So if they are not answering a certain question, it's not that they don't know. They know the answer very well, but they have been instructed by us, by Immigration New Zealand, not to provide that information. So the reason we advisors come live pretty much every other day is to answer those tough questions. Yeah. You'll get answers for easy questions anywhere. You Google it, you'll get it. But the kind of questions that we can answer, that will be only possible here through this live session. So I request you to share our live sessions with more and more of your family and friends, especially the people. I also noticed that there'll be two friends. One of them will be working with us and the other will be working with somebody else. That's because this guy thinks, okay, you know what, I should not refer my friend here and it'll become too painful. But please understand, you will be doing a bit of social service by actually referring us to your friends and family. Because understand one thing, that there are so many people who are being misled in various parts of the world with, like Sunando just mentioned, improper advice. I have seen families being separated where the agencies have said, there was one particular case where the agency said, you know what, you can apply for a work visa even after November 26th because your visa was approved, because last year there was a policy change. And now the wife is here on a PG diploma, and the wife and the husband and child are stuck in India, and they are not even getting the visitor visa and partnership base. It's been 9 months they're waiting for it, and I am unable to help because they've already been in the waiting for so long. So I have heard some cases, very, very painful, families separated just because the agencies, unlicensed agencies specifically, have no knowledge about how immigration matters work. They don't know to read an immigration instruction. They wouldn't even know where the immigration policy sits, okay, on the website. So I urge you guys to do this bit of social service, okay? It's important. Please like and share, because there's so much of free information we give. Tell us, why should an agency like this sit and give so much of free information? We do it for the love of the country. We know we are an agency with a business agenda, right? We meet our business agenda, but at the same time we want to give out free information so that people are aware of the facts. Okay, I know for a fact that so much of information, this kind of information to give, you will have to sit with an advisor, and the advisor will charge you by the hour here. But I sit and do assessments of prospective resident applicants without a fee. Okay, so it's important. We do provide a lot of free information, but when we have to put our foot down and say, hey, you know what, we need to make money because we're spending time, we do charge a fee. Okay, so what I request is, all you people who are watching this, share it with your family and friends. It's important that you share these live sessions around. Okay, thank you very much. Enough of my, I just get excited with some things, especially when it is, I know that there's so many people struggling, being provided wrong advice. It's very unfair. It's unfair to them, and it's unfair to the family, especially when you're spending so much money. I have known so many people, agencies who are unlicensed and really do not care much. They care less, because they need to make their money. Yeah. Okay, next comment we've got Sabina. Hi, Sabina. Sabina is one of our students. She says, hi, Mary. I've landed in Auckland 4 days ago. Thank you for you and your team for a seamless documentation process for my student visa. I wanted to share something. I have a couple of friends who are in New Zealand but submitted their PR application on their own, but have been waiting for very long. I've referred them to you because I'm confident you guys will do a seamlessly as well. I've informed my friends many times it gets stuck as they are not able to fulfill all documentation procedures, and coming through experts like you will be able to skip all that stress. That's right. So AJV is highly recommended to everyone looking for PR application post completion of their studies. Thank you very much, Sabina. Very kind of you. And that is the fact. Working with an advisor once you come to New Zealand is like taking insurance. You don't take life insurance or health insurance hoping that you will fall sick, right? It's to ensure that if there is any eventualities, there is somebody to take care of this. It's exactly that. Number one, we plug in all the gaps already, that we'll have less problems in the way. But if there are problems that come through, we know how to deal with them. Okay, that's exactly why you need to work with us. Simple. And Sabina has answered that same point. Okay, right. So we've got a next comment from Jazz, who says, hello, tell me scope of community healthcare and support course. My number is good. Jazz, thank you very much. Amazing area to study, community healthcare and support. Obviously, you should have a background, some kind of an inclination towards that area. You don't have to be a medical student or something like that, but you need to have a genuine interest. Now, I've got a student who's in physiotherapy, who's a physiotherapist, who's studying this program. She's doing extremely well. She's working as a community support worker. She's being paid a very, very good salary. And it's an amazing course with a great outcome. Okay, so I think what you must do is you must have a chat with us. We will be able to even refer you to one of our students, so that it'll be easy for us to connect you. You work with us, we'll connect you to the existing students so that you can get feedback. Okay, so Jazz, my team will connect with you. Very, very good outcomes. Also, apart from that, if you have a health background, you could also get into personal care giving, which is also a high skill level, not a high, I'd say it's a medium skill level job, which is a skill level 3. And there is a lot of care requirement for personal caregivers in New Zealand, which basically falls in skill level 3 and you're qualifying for a resident visa, if you have a certain qualification, your minimum salary, there is a salary assessment that happens and you will be paid a minimum salary of $25 an hour, which is good for you to look at a residence pathway. It's that kind of a program. So yes, please do consider studying the healthcare program, the community and healthcare program. Okay, thank you. Fiona Rodriguez says, hello, I'm planning for postgraduate diploma in business administration. It's a 1-year course. When can my husband get a visa and how long the process takes? Okay, Fiona, you have not given us your number. I request you to please give us your phone number so that we can answer. We've got, I see that you're from Mangalore and we've got a Mangalorean on the team. I can possibly ask her to say hello to you. Call and say hello to you. So Fiona, if you can please share your contact information, I'll be able to come back and answer that question for you. Thank you. Okay, I see that you're already talking to Maryam. Okay, Fiona, I also see that Maryam has been trying to reach you. Apparently she pinged you on Facebook, so you might want to check your filtered messages because normally these pings from unknown people go to, filtered messages. However, if you can come back here and give your number, or check for your messages and respond to somebody called Maryam Hussain, who she's one of our team members. She will be able to guide you through with the process and she can answer all your questions. Yeah, thank you. Next comment, we've got Maithili Sapte, who says, hi, I'm almost an HAVian, does masters in obviously public health. That means have a good scope to get jobs. Okay, Maithili, I think you're talking to so we've got this, when I'm doing this live session, I've got another team chat and the Mangalorean we're talking to you about, Fiona, is just pinged me with wide smiles. So you should give us your number right away so that that Mangalorean TL of ours can contact you. Okay, so we've got people from across India and it's amazing. We've got people from Delhi, we've got people from Bangalore, Hyderabad, Kerala, Chennai, across. So whatever dialect you want to talk to or you want to feel at home, we've got people from that. In fact, we've got somebody from Malaysia as well. So don't worry. So we've kind of covered pretty much the world now. Right. So Maithili is talking to Ruben. So Maithili, Ruben tells me that you're looking at the Masters of Public Health from AUT and the, okay, job opportunities, public health policy making and administration, wanted to know the ANSCO skill. Okay. So I think you're working with one of our most experienced advisors, Ruben. He's very good at his research and he knows Google very well. So he's very quick in understanding things. So he will answer most of your questions, but I will tell you about job opportunities. Let's understand one thing. I don't know your background, Maithili. Ruben, can you please ping and tell me what is Maithili's background, please? I'll probably be able to add a little more if I know your background. So I'm just waiting for Ruben to respond to that. Or you can respond and tell me what your background is. What have you finished as a qualification? Right. Next, we have Anis Zia, who says, hello, ma'am. Can you tell me about postgraduate studies in telecommunication department? Anis, can you please share your phone number so that I can answer that question for you? Thank you. Fiona, thank you so much for your phone number. Maryam will call you and she'll also get you connected with the Mangalorean team member. Okay. So, so we've got somebody in my team. So I'm sure my teammate is listening to me. She'll pick up the phone. Her name is Akansha D'Souza. Okay. And Akansha, I'm sure you've gotten Fiona's number. You can just pick up the phone and say hello to her if you'd like. Okay. Next we've got, okay, Fiona, I'll still answer your question. I think you have won the right to basically get your question answered. So, okay, now the first thing is the program that you have selected, Postgraduate Diploma in Business Administration, will not qualify your husband for a work visa. Okay, it will qualify him only for a visitor visa under the partnership basis. However, if you are recently married, I can see that your wedding photos up. So I'm thinking probably you've just been married a couple of months ago. We will have to assess to see if he's even eligible for a visa under the partnership category. Okay, so my advice will be for you is to talk to us. Maybe you could do masters is what you will can qualify your husband for a work visa. But in the first instance, we even need to check if you do qualify as a couple. Do you qualify and tick off the partnership requirements? That's very, very important. It should not be the case. I know for a fact that a lot of couples where they've been just married and the spouse is here on a course immediately in a month's time, and those kind of cases, it's nearly impossible to get a visa. So we will need to assess to see how strong your relationship is, whether you have enough documentation to prove your relationship. So have a word with my team. Maryam and Akansha both will try and reach out to you, and talk to them, because it's very important when you're planning to come as a family. It's important to take that advice and get your assessment done beforehand. My team will do that assessment before getting you started. Okay, Fiona, you're in safe hands. Don't worry. But Maryam's also one of our very senior advisors. She will take you through everything. Thank you. Mohammed Muhattesham Ali says, hello, dear. Myself, Mohammed Muhattesham from Hyderabad. Please find below contact number. Mohammed, can you please also specify your question? Thank you. Vishal Trivedi says he's an AJVN. Thank you very much. In brackets, I have available offer for July 2020, intake for level 7 graduate diploma, level 9, both at construction managed level. Although I'm thinking of choosing level 7, does it impact my resident PR in the future? Simple answer, no. It's all about finding a job. Yes, with level 9 you'll get more points because you'll be doing a level 9, and that gets you 70 points. But a level 7 will not give you 70, it will give you only 50. However, you getting a job in that area is more important. It's not the level of course does not determine your salary. The level of course does not determine your chances. It's about your skills. If you feel that you are lacking skills and you can cover that bridge only with a graduate diploma, then do the graduate diploma, because the level 9 is more advanced. It's got research papers in it. You don't want to be ending up coming here and struggling if you are you are someone with very less experience. Okay, so Vishal, I would recommend level 7 is good enough, because that also is there in the skill shortage list. Yeah, level 7 itself. So yeah, so I'd say just look at the papers and decide at what advanced level you want your course to be. Okay, right. Thank you, Vishal. Thanks for working with us, more importantly. Okay, we've got one more student. He's also an AJV student, Clayton Diaz. Hi, Clayton. Thanks for working with us. He says we'll be doing PG Diploma in Management starting May 4th. Could you please connect me to a student who's currently doing the course, need more to know about Nelson? I think the best person you should talk to, Clayton, is actually Virginia, my colleague. Okay, she moved to Hamilton just last year in July. She was in Nelson for a year. So who better than someone who's already graduated the course and has lived in Nelson with the family? Okay, so Clayton, send an email to virginia.yazoki@ajvglobal.com, virginia.yazoki or you can go on our website. You will find Virginia's email ID. Send her an email and she'll be more than happy to connect with you and help you about Nelson. Okay, so yeah, don't worry about it. It's great. Okay, it's a great city to study, though. I mean, Virginia talks very highly about the place and how convenient it was being a smaller town. You know, it was much more relaxed and it was easy to get around, and it's sunny Nelson. It's always sunny and bright over there. Yeah, and accommodation is quite easy, and we've got a very, very big group of students. We've got nearly 15 students in Nelson who have been there and are working there, studying there. So you will have a lot of support. Okay, Clayton, thank you so much, Clayton. Next, we've got Sabina Lama, who says, Mary, is it possible to refer AJV student buddy who completed postgraduate diploma in communications? I wanted to inquire about the faculty and discuss the subject I've chosen. Sabina, as far as I know, I don't think we have anybody who's finished the program. the best thing I would suggest is to talk to the faculty themselves, because as far as I remember, I don't think there is any. However, I'll have somebody. Why don't you connect with Anjana? She's our onshore support person. She will also look into our database and see if there's anybody who's completed that program. So just send her an email as at Anjana at vijayadas at ajvglobal.com. She will. I'm sure you would have got an email from her already. So connect back with her, and please have a chat with her. She'll be able to connect you with somebody, I'm sure. Okay. Thank you. Okay, next question. The comment. Sorry, this name is in Tamil and I can't really read that. I'm a Tamilian myself, but I can't really read Tamil. I'm gonna just leave your name out. Hi, I finished my studies and applied for an open work visa. My visa expires end of Feb. Just wondering how long it'll take to get my visa, and is that possible to work under the in? It's not internet visa. It's interim visa. Okay. The answer is it should take about 4 weeks, and you cannot work on an interim visa because you won't have those rights. Please check your visa. The visa will very clearly mention what rights you have. So please ensure you read that properly. Thank you. Roshni Franklin says, how New Zealand is better than Canada. Interesting. Okay. So I wouldn't say New Zealand's better than Canada. I'd say probably all these countries are on the same par in terms of lifestyle, in terms of employment opportunities, in terms of residency availability. Because I know that a lot of you would want to move purely because of the resident visa options. In fact, New Zealand and Canada are very, very similar. However, I think the most distinct feature of Canada and New Zealand as a difference is, I think, the weather. The climate is quite varied because Canada gets extremely cold, and I know for a fact that the snowfall is very high, and months and days, many cities are shut down. Not months, but at least a few days, in the year. That doesn't happen with New Zealand. Yeah, we don't have shutdowns because of snow. And it doesn't get too cold. I think the minimum that we have seen since at least I've moved is -2 degrees, and it doesn't really get freezing cold. So that's Canada, because I think otherwise we're very similar as countries. However, the other advantage that Canada may have is their close proximity to the US. Okay. However, I think I won't say we're 100% better. We're very, very similar. But opportunities wise, New Zealand very clearly defines that there are certain categories of people needed. If you belong to that area, come here because we are trying to welcome you. I honestly don't know much about what kind of industries are there in Canada, because I hear from people that they don't have a big IT industry. I have not done a bit of research on that, but I know for a fact that they don't talk much about their IT industry. But whereas New Zealand depends on our IT industry quite heavily, and we need people in IT, in health, we need teachers. So New Zealand clearly advises of our requirement of people, our requirement of migrants. Okay, we are very, very clear. And Canada is a challenge. There are a lot of visas that are difficult for Canada. In fact, New Zealand is much, much better than in terms of visa process when it comes to getting student visas or work visas. New Zealand's much open is what I can tell you. Otherwise, we're very similar as countries. So you need to see what kind of lifestyle you need. You need to see really what kind of a place you want to live in. Do a bit of research, and then if you can decide on which country is better for you. Okay, it's a personal choice. Yeah, and if you choose to work with us for New Zealand, we'll be happy, and hopefully we'll help you with Canada as well, in case you're interested. Yeah. Okay. Next question, Maithili says, it's really complicated. Okay, Maithili comes back and explains her profile. So I'm just going to read out her profile. Just a second, Maithili. Kind of lost for a second. Yeah. Right. So Maithili says, I've done my bachelor's in dentistry, PG diploma in medicalology, medico-legal systems and hospital healthcare management, have practiced dentistry for 8 years. How am I non-medical? How am I in non-medical field? Want to get a channel to resident visa, trying to use study pathway, have a husband and son, 5-year old. You know what? When you told me this, I can clearly see you either being, a practice manager, somebody who understands how to run a small clinic or to run a medical center. I can clearly see you in that role because knowing being here, I know for a fact that there are many roles in hospital administration that you need to to have, like you have nurses support people, you have people who manage basically nurses departments. Over here it's a very organized healthcare system. There are a lot of jobs within district health boards. Okay. And I've spoken to someone who does basically project administration, where she handles like there is a department, there is a, say, a surgeon, a cardiovascular surgeon. So she basically handles all that department, where she manages clients, basically clients and surgeries, and sets up appointments and ensures that the workflow is correct for, so also reads prescriptions whenever there is requirement. She's not a pharmacy technician. She's only, if clients come and ask you, I have a bit of a confusion on this. So Mathili, I can see a couple of things you could do with your background. Please, again, don't be worried that, okay, I have to study a course, I'll have to get a job in that same area. You will need to tone yourself down, think it properly, think it through properly, that, okay, I've done all these things, where can I find myself a job? You could find a job in a rest care center in the administrative side, okay, because that also is related to health and welfare. So there are lots of things that you could do. Okay, don't say health means only hospital. No, you could work in a dental, because you got dental background. You could work as practice manager for dentists, so all that can be done. So there's a wide scope of opportunity. Somebody, and yeah, they'll be happy to hire somebody with a medical background, because you understand the terminology, rather than hiring somebody who's just done business. They'd rather hire someone with a medical background. Okay, so you're good. I think you should go ahead and do that program, or you could do something in Masters of Health Science as well, because that also will have papers to deal with health and management and stuff like that. Okay, right. I didn't get a glass of water for myself, and I'm thirsty now. Okay, next question, we've got Naren Shiva, who says, have completed BDS. Okay, Naren, you have not given us your number. Can you please come back and leave your number? Thank you. Sabina says, thank you, no problem. Somebody says, wow, with lots of smileys. We've got Hinesh Kumar, who says, what are the chances of Fiji citizens? Hi, Hinesh. You have not given us your contact information. But one of my team members is in touch with you, Mubaraka. Okay, so, right. Okay, so Mubaraka is in touch with you. So I'm just going to answer your question. Yes, there are very good chances of Fiji citizens. In fact, today I was just doing, there are about nearly 200 to 300 students that come from Fiji each year, and the chances are very good for you to get a visa. So if you're interested, please do connect with us. Thank you. And I mean, if you're in touch with Mubaraka, continue to speak to her. That's great. Okay. Okay, Mubaraka tells me that you're looking for family immigration. And okay, so you've also not shared your contact information. So Hinesh, can you please give us your details? Because if you need information from us, you really need to reach out and give us your details. Yeah. So please, can you give me your phone number so that I can elaborate a bit? Nudan Banukar has some question. Nudan, you have to give me your phone number for me to answer that for you. Thank you. Right. Arslan Qureshi comments on Anis's question. I don't know what Anis was asking. Okay. Anis, have you given us your phone number? Because I can't see your phone number. Guys, have you received Anis' phone number? Because I can't see that. Anis, if you have given us, Hinesh, if you're asking direct migration, it's close to impossible. So you will have to look at student pathway more than likely. So please share your details with us. We'll first assess to see if you do qualify for any kind of pathways. Yeah. And then we can assist you further. So please connect with Mubaraka because she's trying to reach out. Right. Maithili says, Shukran, you're welcome, Maithili. Left their comments but have not given me their phone numbers. Narain and Hinesh, Roshni, no, Roshni is done already. So yeah, all those who you have not left your phone numbers, can you please give me your phone number so that I can come back and answer? I've got less than 10 minutes to wrap up this session. Okay. Before we I get any more comments and I have to answer, I've got one of my colleagues who said she wants me to talk about procurement manager qualification under the LTSSL. And okay. And yeah, so okay, now procurement managers are in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. Okay. However, there is one challenge that is there for people in procurement and logistics. Okay. You cannot start off as being a procurement manager straight away. You will need to work in logistics and procurement or supply or purchasing. Okay. And you have to be open to the fact that it will take at least 3 or 4 years for you to become a procurement manager, because procurement managers are at a very, very high pay scale. And when you're a procurement manager, you work at a very different level. Okay. Don't come to New Zealand as a fresher do a master's and expect that you will get a procurement manager role straight away. I'm going to be very, very blunt and honest, because we don't like to sugarcoat. I know for a fact somebody who's struggling, who's studied a supply chain program, has worked for 3 years in supply. She's still on the verge of she's still in the process of getting changed to become a procurement manager. And procurement, if you're not a procurement manager, any other role in procurement or purchasing, you fall at a skill level 4. Even though it's a very high skilled role as such, technically there's a lot of knowledge you need to have, but unfortunately ANSCO terms it as skill level 4. Okay. And because of which your progression is a bit slow. You either need to be a procurement manager or it's straight away skill level 4. There's nothing in between. Okay. Now, in this scenario, what happens is, unless you become a procurement manager, applying for a resident visa through that is going to be very, very challenging. If you've got many years of experience in procurement, then get into procurement, guys. Because then it'll give you a good chance in 1 or 2 years you work in New Zealand and then become a procurement manager straight away. But if you're a fresher, my advice is don't get into procurement straight away, unless you're willing to take that pathway and wait for a couple of years and then become a procurement manager. Because procurement managers are paid $100,000 here per year. Okay, and unless and until you have nearly 10 years of experience, it's difficult. So that is the reason procurement managers are in shortage here in New Zealand, because it's a very high level and very high responsibility role. There are a lot of students who are still midway. They're either studying or they're either in the first few years of their career. There is a lot of gap because the journey is longer for them to move from a logistics or a purchasing supply person to becoming a procurement manager. It takes nearly 10 years. Whereas I know in customer care or retail and sales, you can become a manager in 2 years. I know for a fact that I have come up to becoming, if you're quick, you're smart, you're good, in about a year, you can become a manager in a lot of areas. In marketing, in sales, in retail. In the area of marketing and in the area of customer care, was able to move up within a year. That's because if you're showing promise, you will be able to. Yeah, when I started off as a telecaller, and within a year, I was able to be moved up into customer service as a manager, is because I showed. So there will be people who can do that. But with procurement, it doesn't work like that. It takes years for you to become a manager. So, yes, procurement managers are in the long term skill shortage. However, to get there, it's a long journey. You have to be prepared for that. Yeah, at least 5 years, minimum 5 years. So, yes, it's a bit risky. So, please be aware of that. And take an informed decision. If you've got experience working with international companies, then go straight away doing a master's and expect a job in procurement and supply. But otherwise, you are going to struggle trying to match the LTSSL because there are no other roles in between. Okay, yeah, thank you. And Shireen, I hope I've answered that for you as well. Thanks. Right. So Naren Shiva says, I was planning to do a master's in public health and would like to know more of the career pathway as an Indian in New Zealand. Naren, I'm not sure if you missed that. I just spoke about public health and the kind of jobs that are available. There are plenty of jobs available in public health. However, it is important that you have a qualification or a background in that area before you do public health. So have a word. I think one of my team members has will reach out to you after this session, and then we will take it from there, right? Hanish, thanks for your number. I've received your phone number. And yes, Fiji, there's a lot of opportunities. In fact, you can connect with me because we are in the same time zone. Why don't you send me an email with your CV of yourself and your wife to immigrationadvisor@ajvglobal.com. We'll try and figure that out for you. Okay. Thank you very much, Hinesh. Next, I think probably this is the last comment because we are almost at the end of the session. We have Juan David who says, hello there, my brother-in-law is an ambiental engineer from Colombia. Do you have any cases for ambiental engineers coming? Yes, there is. In fact, there is one client that I've been talking to who's an ambient engineer who basically ensures that a particular, say, a conference hall and stuff like that has the proper ecosystem and stuff like that. I know that that's what it deals with. And somebody with I think a construction and a civil background will be eligible, or a sound engineering and stuff like that. So there are various areas that you can fit into that. So what I would suggest is ask your brother-in-law from Colombia to send us an email, and we will be able to help him. So you can email, ask him to send. I'm just also quickly doing a bit of Google to check what exactly it does. Yeah, and also it is about environmental engineers. So what happens is it's also that's it's nowadays everybody is about sustainability. So ambiental engineers also work with an aspect where it doesn't disturb, because sound pollution is also one of the biggest problems in many countries. So if you are an ambiental engineer, you basically work in those areas to minimize the sound pollution and ensure that the soundproofing and sustainable design and things like that. So yes, there is good opportunities in New Zealand for somebody with that. So please do ask your brother-in-law to contact us. Thank you, Juan. Okay, Renu Cletus. So he says, hi ma'am, my wife is going to pass out BSc nursing this year, and I wish her to study in as a student in New Zealand after pass out. I heard OETC plus will be acceptable in some colleges student visa. Is that true? What course? Renu, first of all, the OETC plus is very low. Again, I don't even know what kind of program you're looking at, because that is a very, very low score. I think you'll have to get in touch with us. I think you're in also. I see that one of my team members, Mubaraka, has said thumbs up and would like to connect with you. So have a word with Mubaraka. She'll be able to assist you on this. OET C plus is very less because the requirement is B average on across all bands, and if it is for a nursing program here, not the not the competency assessment, because she won't be eligible for that. For the competency assessment, she will have to work for minimum 2 years. So more than likely she will have to get into another band. Okay. Mubarak also tells me that you're looking at various other countries. Please discuss at length. Mubaraka, I don't mind talking to and discussing Renu's case with you, because I know for nurses it's not a straightforward process. So, Renu, you will get feedback from Mubaraka after having a chat with me. Thank you. Next, we've got B Big, who says, "Ma'am, what about jobs for electrical engineers and getting resident visa?" B Big, I think you're in touch with my colleague Nisha. And one second. Is in touch with you, so she said she'll call you back and she'll assist you. Yes, there are plenty of opportunities for electrical engineers. Electrical engineers are in the long-term skill shortage, and unlike a lot of other areas, there are direct jobs in electrical engineering, and you can work as an electrician also if that is what your interest is. There are a lot of opportunities here, Vivek. So please have a word with my colleague. Okay, thank you. Juan, yes, it's environmental engineer. Okay, cheers. Last one. It's the 9:32 already for me, so I'm out of time. So I'm going to answer one last question from Madhukar Gupta. He's given his phone number. Thank you very much. I'm an MBA and wife is a PhD in psychology, having 20 years of work experience. My wife working as an assistant professor in government degree college. Both interest to work in New Zealand. Please let me know the details. Madhukar, please send us an email of your CV and of your wife to info@ajvglobal.com. My advisors, my team of advisors will assess and respond to you. Thank you very much, Madhukar. It is info@ajvglobal.com. Right, my team has already rung the bell and they said, okay, you're done with your time slot being given, and they're asking me to say goodbye. So thank you very much for your time today, guys. I've had a very good session. I think we had a lot of questions today. Thank you all the new viewers. Thank you for all the AJV students for coming online, giving you such amazing feedback. Sabina, and we've got Sunando, and sorry if I missed anyone, but thank you so much for all your feedback, guys. And Nirosh, not to forget. Nirosh, hope to see you soon. Sabina, someday we'll call and say hello to you. Thank you very much and have a good night. Ka kite aano. See you next week. Thanks.